The Ravenna Railroad Festival is, well, it's just that. It's the Railroad Festival. It's celebrating the railroad history of this area, of these two cities, Irvine and Ravenna. And, you know, they were both born out of the railroads. If it was not for the Rhine B and then later the L&N, neither of these towns would probably even be here. So it's a good place, a good opportunity for everybody in these communities and from surrounding areas, Lexington, Berea, Cincinnati. Quite a few people came down from Cincinnati to get together and just have fun here in the Kentucky mountains. We've been trying to kind of change up the Railroad Festival from what it has been in previous years. There's music. We have a stage set up over at our office building, which incidentally was built in 1913. A great backdrop for the music. There's a petting zoo, and we bring a steam locomotive in from Gramling Locomotive Works so that people can go for rides behind a steam locomotive. The Gramlings, Barney and his father, a couple of farmers from the Midwest, who about 25 years ago decided, you know what, it would be really cool to have a steam locomotive. So they found one, and they rebuilt it. And actually had a website up documenting the whole process that I followed and was really impressed with their work. And they got a phone call from a railroad saying, hey, would you come to our place? And another railroad, would you come to our place? So it started this business just organically developed, where they have steam locomotive, will travel. They travel all across the eastern half of the U.S., going as far out as Oklahoma, taking one of their now 3 operational steam locomotives to places like this. It's awesome. Our steam locomotive isn't up and running yet. We're able to have it trucked in here, provide an experience for events like Railroad Festival, introducing people to what a steam locomotive is, and that is a great thing. Bringing the sounds of whistles back to a mountain valley, a series of communities throughout a river valley in the mountains that haven't heard them since the 1950s. And everywhere they go, they create family because they're just absolutely wonderful people.
My dad and I have 5 of them all together, and we have 3 of them running. Last year we had a different engine here. It's about the same size, but it was a different wheel configuration, different. It was Lehigh Valley Coal. This one is an 040 built for the Jeddo Coal Company in 1928 in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
So I'm sure you're aware, but you guys brought the very first steam locomotive to Ravenna under its own power since the General in the 60s. How does that feel? Well,
it feels pretty good because a lot of places we've gone, we've been the first steam engine there in 50 years, 60 years. One place we were the first steam engine that had been there since 1935. So it is kind of nice. There's obviously still people here in town that remember the steam engines, so it brings back a lot of memories for them, and it feels good to watch people enjoy the work that Dad and I have done over the years.
It's been a good day so far. Had a lot of people come out and just got done with the retired railroaders train, and Thomas and I are having a good time up here.
How rewarding is it for you to see all these little kids and even the older railroaders on the train today?
When I see the little kids, it reminds me a lot of myself at their age, because when I was their age, I was fascinated with this stuff. And I grew up in a railroad town and spent countless weekends playing on the steam locomotive that was on display at the museum there. And I just fell in love with it when I was younger. I got to see the Milwaukee Road 261 come in, and that was the first hot steam engine I ever saw, and from there I was just hooked, and over time and asking questions and networking, I was able to get involved more with steam traction engines, and then worked my way up to steam locomotives, and now I have the skill set and the knowledge necessary to be able to be an engineer on one.
right after the Railroad Festival last year. Everywhere I went, people were commenting about how cool it was to see so many people here, to see this rail yard alive again. This rail yard that has been here since the early teens, that was like the epicenter for the economy and everything else in this town. And it's been completely dormant since 2001. So 20 years later, the Railroad Festival is here, thousands of people came. What I heard more than anything else, what people really enjoyed, people talking to me, coming up to me and talking to me about hearing the whistles at night when we do the whistle blow. People from as far as like 7-8 miles away talking about how they just heard it echoing up the valley that they live in. And you know, some of the people were old enough to where they remember when steam ran here. And they said it just brought back all sorts of memories and just, you know, made their day.
You know, we are a railroad-based entity. We're doing things that are outside of the scope of railroading, but everything kind of ties in with railroading, not only because that's who we are, but that's who this region is. Estill County itself, one of the main employers ever has been the railroad, and in fact, this town of Ravenna was founded by L&N workers back in the 19-teens. So this whole scenario is not only about celebrating the railroad, but also is about letting people that are local show off what they're good at, and a lot of that is artisan local arts and crafts as well as music. Having a steam locomotive here is so neat. For a variety of reasons. One of the reasons is because when we started the vision for this property, when we thought it might be an option for us to purchase, it was so beyond useful that even getting it useful is a step in the right direction. But having people get on a train and seeing the smiling faces and kids, their passion being ignited for locomotives and trains in general would never have existed had we not been here, is really, really satisfying. And Kentucky Steam is not it doesn't have a big pot of money to draw off of. We've done so much with so little, and that's not to say that we're not grateful for what we received, but we haven't got this big $1 million gift. We've done it with $5 donations and $10 donations to be able to do both what we've done here as well as what we're doing with 2716 and the shop. And it's really gratifying to see it grow, and this hasn't been something that's happened overnight. It's been a slow trajectory upwards for Kentucky Steam to be able to realize what we want to do. And the only thing that's disappointing is we haven't had that big jump. We haven't had something to be like, all right, well now we're going, because we've been going and going and going. And of course COVID put a big dent in that. We had a very nice momentum after we moved 2716 here, and we feel like we're gaining it back now that COVID has subsided a bit and people are more excited about getting together in a space such as this. So this is really gratifying. It's exciting. Obviously having a steam locomotive and steam whistles echoing off the hills here is just not only just satisfying for us who've been involved for so long, but it's also it's almost spine tingling. It's so neat to hear the hills that echoed steam whistles doing that again. So it's a really cool thing we got going here. It's really, really gratifying to see it grow, and we can't wait to see what's next.